are not reading at grade level, but testers say they are concerned with that trend.
Another busy week on Capitol Hill amid a growing impeachment showdown. Good morning. I'm ABC's Megan Tavrizian in New York. We have the latest details coming up.
And ski season is almost here. An inside look at Snow Lovers' annual ski swap up next.
You're waking up with 6 on Your Side News. Good morning, Idaho.
Welcome back. Treasure Valley skiers and snowboarders spent the last 3 days getting geared up for the upcoming ski season, that is. The annual ski swap at Expo Idaho saw thousands of winter sports enthusiasts stop by to snag sweet deals on new skis, snowboards, snow pants, and pretty much everything or anything you'll need to hit the slopes. The swap has been happening for 69 years now, raising money for the Bogus Basin Ski Education Foundation. 25% of this weekend's sales will benefit the program, providing training and competitive programs to young athletes.
I think everyone's excited. Bogus is blowing snow, making snow. We're going to be open early. All the other resorts are getting fired up in the area, and people are excited for another great ski season.
The past week's cold temperatures helped snowmaking crews get a head start on the season. Bogus Basin officials are crossing their fingers, hoping to be open for Thanksgiving later this month. The new polls are in, and the Boise State Broncos remain 21st in both the top 25 and coaches polls. This comes after Saturday night's win on the road at San Jose State, 52-42. Despite trailing the Spartans through the third quarter, the Broncos managed to secure the win with 21 points in the fourth quarter. The team will head back to the blue turf this Saturday for their next matchup against the Wyoming Cowboys. Kickoff is scheduled for 8:15, and you can catch it on ESPN.
New this morning, Patrick Frazee is facing numerous charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. And now his fate will be determined by a Colorado jury. He's accused of killing the mother of his child, Kelsey Barrett. Her body hasn't been found, but Frazee's ex-girlfriend from Twin Falls, Crystal Lee Kenny, told authorities Frazee confessed to the murder. Kenny's pleaded guilty to tampering with evidence. Barrett's parents have also filed a wrongful death lawsuit that claims Frazee's motive for murder was linked to a custody battle over their daughter. Clashes broke out between protesters and police in Hong Kong this weekend. Police fired tear gas and used water cannons to disperse crowds at an unauthorized rally. It's the city's 22nd straight week of unrest. Authorities say protesters set fires to barricades and vandalized shops in the area. Over the past 5 months, protesters have demanded democratic reforms. Smugglers in Mexico have breached new sections of the border wall. They're using power tools to cut through steel and concrete portions of the wall. The openings are wide enough for people and drugs to be smuggled through. They're also using makeshift ladders to climb up and over barriers in the San Diego area. The Washington Post reports U.S. agents and officials know about the damage. More depositions on Capitol Hill this week as President Trump demands a whistleblower who raised a flag about his phone call with Ukraine's president be revealed. The whistleblower has made a new offer to Republican lawmakers, and now the GOP is responding. ABC's Megan Tavrizian is in New York with the latest.
Another busy week on Capitol Hill amid a growing impeachment showdown. President Trump still adamant he did nothing wrong.
My phone call was perfecto. It was totally appropriate.
Stepping up demands the whistleblower who raised questions about his phone call with the president of Ukraine be revealed.
But the whistleblower should be revealed because the whistleblower gave false stories. Some people would call it a fraud.
That demand, despite key congressional testimony supporting the whistleblower's claims. In a surprise proposal, the whistleblower's legal team has now offered to answer congressional Republicans' written questions directly to them under penalty of perjury without having to go through the Democrat-controlled impeachment process. The whistleblower's attorney telling ABC News, now we have offered directly to the GOP, they have no excuses. But some Republicans say that's not enough.
You will have the chance to propose witnesses. Who do you want to call?
Well, there are a lot of people. I mean, the whistleblower themselves.
The top Republican on the House Oversight Committee, Jim Jordan, saying you don't get to ignite an impeachment effort and never account for your actions and role in orchestrating it. The whistleblower's attorney has stressed the need for his client to remain anonymous for safety for that person's family, saying there have already been death threats. Megan Tavrizian, ABC News, New York.
Right now it is 5:15. Here's a live look at Boise from our tower cam atop the Grove Hotel. Still ahead here on Good Morning Idaho. We'll check in with Rachel with that full forecast.
Now, Rachel Garceau with the On Your Side forecast.
It is 5:17 on your Monday morning. I thought as we enter our first full week of November, let's talk about some of our November norms. We typically kick off the month of November with an average high temperature in the Boise area of 56 degrees. But by the end of the month, that average high has dropped down to 41. So you can tell things getting colder as we inch closer to the start of winter. And in a typical November in Boise, we see 1.35 inches of total precipitation, be that rain or snow or a mix of the two. Last year, to put it in perspective, we had a drier than average November with not even an inch of total precipitation. And we are kicking off the month of November of 2019 on a dry note as well. Our hourly forecast for today will look a lot like the hourly forecast for tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The only thing that may change is the temperatures will fluctuate just a little bit every day. We may have some clouds come into the picture as well, but we don't see any big changes to our weather pattern. We've had that inversion that has set up, which means milder air is aloft and the higher elevations kind of trapping the air at the surface. It's not cool air necessarily. Our temperatures will be seasonable, but we are very stagnant. Nothing much is happening. Winds are calm. And again, we have that capping layer there that will not allow the air at the surface to really escape. So we have an air stagnation advisory for the upper Weiser River area through the Treasure Valley all the way into the Magic Valley, at least through tomorrow afternoon. Our current air quality, by the way, for much of the Treasure Valley, not all, some places are in the moderate, but we've also seen some places, particularly in the lower valley, climbing into that orange or unhealthy for sensitive groups category. So bear that in mind if you have outdoor activities. If you're really sensitive to those pollutants, you may be feeling it in the coming days. So a big old blocking ridge of high pressure off the coast. You can see no clouds to even be seen across pretty much the Pacific Northwest. Some moisture up to our north will stay well to our north and to our east in the coming days. But temperatures, like I mentioned, will remain mild. So this is not cold air trapped at the surface, but you'll notice in our mountain and valley temperatures, there's no big difference. And that's where you can see the inversion. So right around 60 for most places, the lower Treasure Valley, a little warmer than the upper valley, 58 for Boise, 57 in Kuna. We may touch 60 in Ontario, places like Jordan Valley and Rome today, mid 60s. So some beautiful weather there. Look at our mountains though, 61 on tap for Garden Valley, up near 60 in Council, 52 for McCall, and 55 in Cascade. That is Boise's typical daytime high for early November. So you can tell there's that warmer air up high. 51 for Stanley today, 54 with partly cloudy skies in Sun Valley. In Fairfield, we'll have plenty of sunshine and mild conditions, light winds across the region as well. It really takes a big change in our weather pattern, some gusty winds, a cold front maybe of some sort to mix out the inversion. We are not going to see that for some time to come. So in the Magic Valley as well, we'll have sunny skies and mid 50s. And then look at this extended pattern. Really no changes. Morning lows down near freezing each and every day in Boise. Those highs will fluctuate just a touch by a few degrees, but we'll just call it upper 50s to right around 60 for the long term. So if we have to be inverted, at least it's a comfortable inversion. Exactly. It just won't look all that pretty. You'll start getting that hazy horizon, you know, out there. Yeah.
How high do you think we'll have to get above that? If you go up to Bogus, is that high enough?
5,500 feet. So right about Bogus and points above. And then we should start seeing those levels lower maybe a little bit in the coming days. But places like Bogus, yeah, you should be able to climb above and see the sunshine. Yeah. The nice clear sunshine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Might have to do that this week.
Thanks, Rachel. After the break, Friends fans, get ready. The Thanksgiving episodes are coming to a theater near you. We'll have more details in today's entertainment news next. But first, take a look at today's school lunch menus. Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. Customers waited in long lines at a Gainesville, Florida Popeye Sunday to get their hands on the returning spicy chicken sandwich.
We're a little bitter here. Workers said the drive-through line reached about 30 cars deep, and wait times outside and inside the restaurant were about an hour. The sandwich was first introduced during the summer. After a 2-month wait, the chain started selling the popular sandwich this weekend, but according to one Popeyes here in Boise, we will not be seeing the sandwich in stores until mid-November.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't try to find one over the weekend
yeah, I
then.
almost went yesterday. Good thing I
That's
did.
right, Sunday, yeah. You know, it's truly amazing what social media has done to this.
I know.
I mean, have you ever heard of 30 cars deep for a drive-through?
No. And if you wait 2 weeks, it'll all die down and you can just get it without waiting, right?
Yeah.
Well, and we have to wait 2 weeks, it sounds like, here in Boise. Well, now trending as well, Thanksgiving, still a few weeks away, but that's no reason not to start early on. Friendsgiving planning. Fans of the show Friends will be able to watch all of the Thanksgiving episodes in movie theaters. How fun. Who can, of course, forget the infamous/famous turkey head dance by Monica?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the episodes will be screened at 700 movie theaters across the U.S. on November 24th and 25th. 4 episodes will be shown each day. There's a turkey head dance. You can purchase tickets at fathomevents.com.
Oh, that is fun.
I wonder if that is happening here, because that could be
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
We usually do carry, at least a couple of local theaters will carry these Fathom events.
Okay.
So we'll have to see. So 4 a day, so that's about 2 hours. I can see that. Yeah.
That's fine.
That sounds
Handle
fun.
that.
Well, if you love thrills, this might be right up your alley. A theme park in Japan is said to have the first permanent full-size replica of Godzilla. In 2020, the park will debut an area with a 65-foot lizard, the same size as the one in the 1954 movie. The Godzilla interception operation will allow you to zip line straight into Godzilla's mouth.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? It also features a shooting game where you can try to take down the monster. The theme park in the Bay of Osaka also has rides and attractions based on Japanese anime and cartoon characters.
Nice.
So
Pretty
right
cool.
there, you just go right in there.
I know.
And hope you come back out safely.
Yeah.
It's a little
Which end
ominous.
you come out
Oh, it's
on.
awesome, though. Jeez.
Oh, man.
All right, well, now it's time for GMI Wants to Know. And today we want to know, if you had your own late night talk show, who would be your first guest? Send your answers in on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we'll share them on air. Anyone come to mind? for
Oh
you
my
two?
gosh, this is a good one. I'm trying to think who I just want to kind of hang out with and laugh with. You want them to be entertaining. I'm gonna have to give it some thought.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
There's a lot of people I'd like to interview,
there's
but
a
I'm trying
lot
to
of
think my very first guest.
Yeah, that's hard. Because
Yeah.
that's you'll always remember that. No matter what, you'll always remember that. People will always remember that. First person that comes to my mind, Ryan Reynolds. I think
Oh, he
he's
would
the
be funny.
funniest,
Yeah.
He is
coolest
funny.
guys
He's a
in the Navy.
jokester, too.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Good. Well, let us know on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and hopefully someone comes to mind quicker than what I'm coming up with right now.
No, me too.
Yeah, we'll chime in with your answers later this hour.
And coming up next, Veterans Small Business Week kicks off today. Details on the summit that's helping veterans build their business up next.
And if you missed Boise's Veterans Parade, don't worry. Coming up, we'll give you an inside look at the weekend's honorable event.
I'm Vinny Politan. Coming up this week on Court TV, the trial of a former NFL star. His name is Kellen Winslow II. He's been accused of being a serial sex offender. His trial taking place in San Diego, California. Opening statements begin this week, and then, of course, gavel-to-gavel coverage of California versus Winslow this week on Court TV.
You're waking up with 6 on Your Side News. Good morning, Idaho.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to Good Morning Idaho. I'm Matt Sizemore.
I'm Jillian Griggs. Hope your weekend was all right. Let's check in with Rachel Garceau with that walk around the block forecast to start things off.
Let's have some puppy love to start us off. How about that? So this picture was from 8 weeks ago, so I'd love to see Stanley now.
Oh my goodness.
So cute. This is when he was 8 weeks old, I should say, but it was from about 8 weeks ago. Can you get that little face, the floppy
And
ears?
all the wrinkles, you know, he's got to grow into his skin still.
Do we have to do any news today? Can we just look at Stanley
stare.
all day
In
long?
the words of young people, I can't even.
Can't even, seriously. Thank you to Glenn for this adorable picture to make us a little more perkier, a little happier this morning on a Monday morning. It is a cold start, but it will be a seasonable afternoon, hitting the upper 50s. Look at that 6 p.m. little weather icon, though. There is a moon there. Our sunset now around 5:30 after the change of time over the weekend. All right, 5:30 on your Monday. Let's check in with Frankie for our first look at that commute this morning. Hey, Frankie.
Hi there, Rachel. Well, as always, we expect a pretty slow morning. And we're seeing not much activity. It's probably because people are still sleeping. Who knows? But whatever the case is, not much activity. We're not seeing anything heading out really on those east or westbound lanes here in downtown Boise. If we flip it over to our Waze app, we can go ahead and take a look at that commute for what you can expect if you are heading eastbound, since that's our most popular direction. If you're heading from Nampa to downtown Boise, it's going to take you 29 minutes to go about 23.5 miles. Stay with us, though, so we can give you the latest in your traffic news. Matt?
All right, thanks very much, Frankie. Well, the annual Veterans Parade was in downtown Boise this weekend, and thousands gathered in front of the state capitol to honor our nation's heroes.
The U.S. Postal Service served as this year's Grand Marshal, and 6 on Your Side Steve Dent shows us how being recognized for their service means so much to our veterans.
For veterans who fought for our country, being recognized for their service carries a lot of weight.
To be one of the less than 1% of the country that put their hand up and defend their country, yeah, it's an honor. This is a very humbling experience for me.
Philip Sagataw served during Vietnam with several of his brothers.
There was 9 boys in the family. All 8 served except the youngest one.
Elmer Lumpkin's father and grandfather served. Then he followed in their footsteps as a veteran of the Iraq War.
And now my daughter is in JRTC, and she told me there was I've never really come out to these things, but now that she's in it, it kind of gave me the courage to come out.
And this year's Veterans Parade had a special theme. Kenneth Douglas still has 138 letters that were written and received by his grandfather during World War I.
It just pains me deeply to think about my boy at war.
And some of those letters home were read at the state capitol.
To see that my grandfather's service come to such a wide audience and to be heard, his most intimate thoughts home to family, just is a deep sense of pride for myself and my family.
And a way to make sure that we remember.
The worst thing that can happen for those that serve is that we forget.
Because the heroes who fought for our freedoms and our ideals deserve our respect and admiration.
They couldn't draft us because we're Native American, so that's why we all enlisted.
Second only to my wife and my children, it was the greatest honor I've ever had.
Even though getting that recognition can be a difficult one to put into words.
Loving it also. It's a good feeling.
Steve Dent, 6 on Your Side.
Looks like they had a great time. The Boise Veterans Day Parade always takes place a week early in order to give the Mountain Home Air Force Base and the Idaho National Guard time to be with their families before Veterans Day rolls around a week from today.
And speaking of, Veterans Small Business Week begins today, and local leaders and small business owners are coming together for the second Veteran Entrepreneurs Summit. The summit will provide insight and strategies to help new and upcoming business owners build brands and manage growth. The conference kicks off on Wednesday, November 6th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Zions Bank Building on Main Street in downtown Boise.
We first introduced you to Neptune Warrior in early 2018. It helps veterans and first responders cope with issues like PTSD, anxiety, and traumatic brain injuries through scuba diving. Organizer Rob Anderson says playing games underwater gives divers a single focus. The group has now been able to purchase gear specific to women, and Anderson says it's allowed them to have diving sessions for women.
You can't really think about anything under the water. You can't think about your family, your bills, your job. I mean, it's just you're hearing yourself breathe, which is really therapeutic.
If you would like to get involved, you can head to our website, 6onyourside.com, for a link for more information. All right, let's check back in with Rachel. It looked like they had beautiful weather on Saturday for that Veterans Day Parade.
It absolutely was beautiful. I mean, it's been cold in the mornings, right? But temperatures really have been seasonable. I call it comfortably cool, right? We can handle that. And if you like the weekend weather, you'll love my extended forecast. We don't have any real big changes coming our way. We have inversion conditions, though. That's the unfortunate part of the predictable conditions this week. So we have those pollutants that get trapped at the surface. So that horizon will get hazier and hazier, but skies will be mostly clear. One piece of bad news I have for you, of course, is that new sunset time after our time change from over the weekend. Expect dinner time in the dark, 5:32 our sunset. 7:24, though, that sunrise. Right now we're at 33 degrees in Boise. Very light winds make it feel like 29. So it is a cool start. Our hourly forecast, though, shows plenty of clear skies. Those high temperatures will be right about where they should be, even a little bit above average, upper 50s on tap for the Boise area today. And I thought as we now are past Halloween, we talk about how long we've got until Thanksgiving, only 24 days, big shopping day, Black Friday. That means that's only 25 days away. We kick off winter in a mere 47 days, and 4 days later, we celebrate Christmas. So holiday season is in full swing, and I'll break down the rest of your week's forecast, by the way, coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Rachel. 5:36 now, still coming up here on Good Morning Idaho. New software can now warn authorities about fires. An inside look at the new wildfire alerts coming up next.
And Airbnb is making changes to their policies. More details about their new rental agreement coming up.
Good morning, Idaho. 5:38 is our time, and right now we're taking a live look at our downtown connector cam, looking at downtown Boise, where we can get a good idea of what to expect when heading out the door this morning. You can see we've got a couple sprinkles of some westbound traffic heading out, some eastbound traffic coming in slowly. Not many people are awake at this hour, and that's okay. That's something that we usually plan for and anticipate. If we go ahead and flip it over to our Waze app, you'll be able to see that commute if you're heading eastbound. Right now, 29 minutes is how long it's going to take you to go about 23.5 miles. That number is going to change, though, as the morning progresses, so it's important you stay with us so you can stay ahead of your traffic news. Jillian.
Frankie, the World Center for Birds of Prey finished off another successful season of fall flights as they sold out their final shows this weekend and several others this fall. The fall flights give visitors a chance to get up close and personal with falcons, hawks, and an owl, while at the same time learning about these majestic creatures. The World Center for Birds of Prey is the headquarters of the Peregrine Fund, which has a mission to protect raptors all over the world, and especially here in Idaho.
People get to understand those concepts, the principles, and get a better understanding of what it means to do conservation. They can come and visit and see what that looks like.
A pastime called plinking. And
so cool. The fall flights will be back next year, and the World Center for Birds of Prey tells us they continue to work on ideas to accommodate more people because the popularity of the fall flights continues to grow.
Across the nation, drastic changes coming to Airbnb. A Halloween house party turned deadly last week. 5 people were shot and killed at an Airbnb rental in the San Francisco area. The shooting is still under investigation, but Airbnb is now banning party houses at its rental properties. Airbnb said there will be a new guest screening program and a party house rapid response team. Anyone found in violation of the upgraded policies could be removed. South Carolina authorities are investigating the church that was the scene of a 2015 mass shooting. The Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston made headlines when a white supremacist shot and killed 9 church members during a Bible study class. A public information officer would not disclose the reasoning behind the investigation since it's an open case. The gunman in the 2015 shooting has been sentenced to death. A network of hundreds of remote-controlled cameras is helping 3 states keep a lookout for new wildfires. The same network caught the start of the Kincaid and Maria fires. Mark Sayer shows us how it works.
You might have seen some of these incredible images of the Kincaid fire, like this one from Geyser Peak. This image from a camera called Pepperwood East. You can see the winds whipping the flames with the trees blowing in the foreground. They are coming from a new statewide network of cameras, which have been coming online quickly since the 2017 Tubbs fire.
So we're up at Hawkins Peak, a little over 10,000 feet in Alpine County.
We caught up on FaceTime with Dr. Graham Kent, the director of the Nevada Seismological Laboratory, which initially launched this network on a small scale at Lake Tahoe. It now spans California, Nevada, and Oregon. Graham was talking while working at the site of a future California wildfire camera.
So the camera's the great equalizer. Within about a minute, you know what's going on.
Graham says the camera networks are monitored and can be controlled by emergency operations centers statewide. The live views are also available to the public. Most often, the cameras are used to quickly zero in and confirm initial reports, which is what happened with the Kincaid fire.
But you have to know early on whether it becomes an evacuation event or with an early, tactical airstrike. You need to know how to scale up.
The cameras are being used right now in Southern California to monitor the Maria fire in Ventura County. The network caught the initial start of that fire as well. Dr. Graham says now that the value of the cameras is so apparent, the expansion is moving along quickly.
Everybody has been very helpful in getting us to put out as many cameras as we can.
And the next phase of the project involves artificial intelligence so computers can monitor the cameras for the start of wildfires. It's 5:43 now. Coming up, SpaceX has achieved a major milestone with its latest parachute test. We have all those details up next in today's Tech Bites.
Plus, if you're not a big fan of surprises, you'll probably like my On Your Side forecast this week, as we are pretty predictable for the coming days. I'll break down the extended forecast right after the break.
In today's Tech Bites, a key milestone for SpaceX.
The private company has now